We will also run through that if he and I cannot speak, of course, fell out, and Godfather and Godson reconciled, and what that meant moving forward. But please give me a minute as I attempt to reconnect.
You spend a lot of your hard-earned money to purchase the things in your house and at your business centers. And thus, you must do what you can to protect and maintain them. Accidents can and do happen, so we at 90.3 Nigeria Info would like to encourage you to take the following steps to prevent a fire outbreak. First, install a fire alarm. Ask your electrician about fire alarms, as some can be affordable. Educate children around you. Take time to explain the dangers of fire and teach them the safety protocols and numbers to call in case of emergencies. Be wary of electrical appliances. They may make our lives easier, but they can be dangerous when they become faulty. Ensure a professional repairs or helps with the installation of home appliances. Do not make illegal power connections. Exercise caution when cooking. As you prepare your food, please stay close by. Resist the urge to take a nap or do other things whilst cooking. Also, ensure flammable substances are not close to your burner. Do not store fuel or diesel at home. Many fires have started because of petroleum products being stored in the homes of many Nigerians. Get a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher will go a long way to either reduce the spread or stop a fire if caught early. Keep fire-causing tools and items safe in storage. And finally, regular training, reminders, and updates to both family and staff members will keep individuals alert to safety protocols. Know the emergency numbers to call.
When in dire need of assistance or help within Rivers State, please contact the Rivers Emergency Service with the following numbers: 0904 022 2281 or 0904 022 2283 or 0904 022 2285. These lines are for emergencies only. Call only when you're in need of assistance. Thank you.
This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
And now, hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Of reconciliation. What exactly might this mean for Rivers people, as the person whose voice you heard said that there will be a cost? Now, before I open the phone lines to let you be a part of the conversation, let us look at precedents, right? The Godfather trend in Nigeria's politics, it is basically the control of political power by influential figures, an individual or individuals, who are of course called the Godfathers. They sponsor or impose candidates, which would be considered the Godsons, into elective or appointive positions. And these Godfathers expect in return, as you can imagine, loyalty, and in some, I think many, not even some cases, a return on their investment, whether through contracts, appointments, or unchecked influence. So by the dynamics of that relationship, you can already see why there are problems with this arrangement, because too many Godfathers are falling out with their Godsons. That seems to be what is currently playing out in Rivers State. Now, if you look at the main reasons why they fall out, there are about 6. The first is that the Godfather overreaches. They want to install a leader. They want to govern them. They, of course, try to bite more than they can chew, take more than they are supposed to. And, well, at some point, the Godson becomes uncomfortable. They expect that every decision made should involve consultation of the Godfather. The second is, in some cases, diverging political interest. Maybe there is something that the godson is reaching for and the godfather feels he should not have access to it. Or maybe there's a political ideology that the godfather has and is pushing that the godson is not interested in, so obviously he works against it. An example, even though they don't exactly qualify as godfather and godson, this was Oga and his boy, is Atiku and Obasanjo's relationship. Atiku showed interest in the presidency, while Obasanjo at the time was rumored to have been considering a third term. So that diverging political interest caused problems. The third, which I'm sure is the most popular reason, is financial and resource control. Godfathers expect access to the coffers, the treasury, unchecked, unfiltered, unhindered. And if the godsons who at the time happen to be in office are not completely comfortable with it, well, because of course, state resources are, whether or not you like it, limited. And if you cannot account for how it is spent, that's a big problem. And because they sponsor elections, right? This is one of the many ways that they try to ensure that they get a return on their investment. Then there's public pressure on the godson. The people who happen to be the citizens of state and country who are obviously expecting governance from this godson who is the governor are like, how far now? Give us the governance that we deserve. So that pressure, it seems that you're not ready to work. The godson at that point is considered a puppet. And there are many other things, ego, personality clashes and all of that. These are the most popular reasons why godsons and godfathers fall out. The gospel according to Nigeria's politics. After the commercial break, I'll reconnect with my guest. Hopefully, I'm fortunate this time. But let's talk. Do you think that Rivers people are getting the best deal from the supposed political truce? There have been no confirmations, but it seems that a reconciliation is on the way. The terms and conditions given that you and I might never get to know, do you think that the people will get the best possible deal? That the common Rivers man who lives, works, or is from here would have a deal that better serves their interest? 0817923 0002. 0817923 0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. I'll have to check, but I am guessing we're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. The conversation is the cost of reconciliation. Chima calls from Trans Amadi. Hello, Chima. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sam.
All right. Turn off your radio, please.
Yes, Mr. Sam. I expect that the statement the governor made the last time on the issue of him no longer has interest, if not for one thing. I expect that people should let the governor be and mind their business. You understand? The only way to eradicate this relationship between Godfather, especially taking away Godfather, is when we have a better electoral system. And the people of Rivers State, we must not allow this ugly trend to repeat itself in 2027. That is the thing I have to say. Where a man will use his structure to install a governor, at the end of the day, the governor will not be allowed to do his job. That is what Rivers State is witnessing right now. You understand? So we Rivers people, we must draw a lesson from what is happening right now and stand our ground to ensure that any leader, any governor coming to the brick house must come from the people, not from particular political structure. You understand? That is the only way to end all these political problems that Rivers State is passing through right now. Rivers State becomes a shadow of itself because of this political crisis, where you have a stranger from another state, you understand, coming to superhead over the affairs of the state. So I think that is the right thing to do. Let's allow the governor to contact with his godfather and keep our fingers across on the election 2027 to put the governor that we want.
Okay. Thank you very much. Emeka from Elele. Good evening.
Yes. Oracle.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Please go ahead.
Oracle, we need peace in River State. Fubara and his master should come and give us a lasting peace. Fubara is ready for peace. I'm also appealing to other people that they should embrace peace. Let's move River State forward. Peace is priceless. Terror is senseless. Please, let's give peace a chance in River State. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. Emeka from Elele. Taking comments on, okay, I believe I can do that now. Afternoon Oracle, if truly President Bola Tinubu has asked the Rivers Gladiators, aka Godfather and Son, to swiftly reconcile their differences before 29th of May, and such conditions from Chidi Lloyd as a proxy to the FCT minister would subject an elected Governor Fubara to publicly apologize to Her Royal Highness, the FCT minister, suspended House of Assembly members, and former council chairman. Then there are ones who do not want the reconciliation because they have the federal allocation being controlled by their projected sole administrator, aiming at the 6-month suspension period. Where Rivers people are watching where this will end, Kelvin Iyobo Frank says. After the break, we talk some more. Stay with us. Back, still hard facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Orakuchinedu here, and we're talking about the cost of reconciliation. I've connected with my guest, Mr. Christian Kendrick, who is the chairman of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, in Rivers State. Thank you, Mr. Kendrick, for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you, dear Oracle. Thank you for having me.
All right. So let's get straight to business since we obviously don't have time. Winners and losers in this political truce. What's your take on a Wike-Fubara reconciliation, and who do you think stands to gain the most?
Oracle, firstly, I would like to join every Rivers person to say that we need peace and we deserve peace. We don't just need peace. Rivers State deserves peace. But if the peace is coming with a cost, we should be aware as Rivers people, because we are going to be the one to bear the brunt. I will take you back a little. We enjoyed Fubara. We applauded Fubara before the unconstitutional suspension because he wasn't a shadow of anyone. He took bold decisions without interference. And if what we are perceiving, if what we are prophesying, if what we are telling you now is true, those days are gone by. We'll never have that again. Rivers State will now, as we speak, have a governor who is a son and who is a boy to somebody. We've never had a governor who is a boy and is a son to somebody, literally. I heard your beautiful analysis about godfatherism. You were very, very correct. There's nothing wrong about godfatherism. In Akwa Ibom State, it's godfather to son to son. That's what is going on there. In Lagos State, it's the same thing. But when it gets to a point when the godfather had to reiterate, had to say, my boy, my son, it only takes wisdom to know that something is really, really cooking. And Rivers State will bear the brunt, like I've said before. So, Fubara had promised us earlier that he's not going to sacrifice his kidney to be in government house or to please anyone. We're only appealing in cause of chasing peace, in cause of returning to the government house, in cause of returning to be the executive governor of Rivers State. Please don't give out your kidney. Don't give out this important organ for this peace. That is all we're saying. Because the Wike was pained because his plans were cut short. He had chance to put in local government chairman. He said it clearly. I'm not saying what he didn't say. He wanted to make sure the local government chairman came from him. He wanted to make sure the commissioners came from him. You will not tell me now that those same agendas, those same plans he had, now that he's winning, because as we speak now, he's winning. Because you always say those who beg do not it doesn't mean they are weak. Yes, I agree with you in some term, but in this term the FCT minister is winning. And he would want his decisions to be taken. The governor will take decisions of the FCT minister. But if Rivers people, if Governor Wike's 8 years was that fantastic, then I don't even need to make this call. Then we don't even need to discuss this. We should enjoy him because he's coming again. That's my point.
Okay. So obviously the cost you're talking about is the influence of the FCT minister. Heavy influence.
Exactly. Heavy influence.
Now, if the destination is good governance, does it matter how we get it? Does it matter if it is the loyalists of the FCT minister that deliver on that good governance? Or loyalists
Exactly. That's my point. That's why I said if his reign was that fantastic for the 8 years, then we shouldn't be bothered. We shouldn't even be making this conversation. But you know it wasn't fantastic. You know we needed a fresh of breath air, a fresh air, and Fubara gave us that. And this is hurting him. The FCT minister has told us literally that Fubara is not mature enough to have his political family, to allow his political ideology to be on the front burner. He wants to be in charge. He is the father.
Okay.
Now he's not telling Fubara his ally. He's saying it's his boy. He will tell his boy what to do. You will tell your boy what to do. As you're there, your boy will not come and start operating the console. He doesn't know what to do. You will tell your boy, hey, wait. Tell me, I will show you where it's on, I'll show you where it's off. Exactly.
So let's imagine, right, hypothetically speaking, of course, that what you say happens, the peace is achieved, and the boy functions in the capacity of a boy. But this structure, which delivers the influence of the FCT minister, actually gives the people good governance. Now, remember I said, let's imagine. Would there be any reason to complain?
No, there would not be any reason to complain. But you know, even though you're trying to quiz me, you know that will not be achieved. You understand?
That's why I say we should imagine.
Yeah, we're imagining it. Politics comes with a lot of backroom agreements. And this is one of the agreements, practically, that we think the governor is agreeing with. And it has been so extended. In my remark, I said it is extended. It's not only the shot of the FCT minister again. Akpabio has a shot here. The president now have a shot to call in the same states. So when everybody is calling the shot left, imagine we have 100% of goodwill. And these gladiators take what the people they want to take. What will be left for the common river people? That's just our concern. That's just our concern.
Okay. Now, do you think that this might mean the end of the emergency rule?
I think that the emergency will continue until the 6th month elapse. My reason for saying that is because you don't want to embarrass a governor, Wike-Fubara, to come back, conduct an election, and put in your people. Yeah, even though you come from the same political family, he has his own family now. So you send him a shame, you would furnish the house before he comes. So I think the suspension will be on until after. In fact, I believe in the coming weeks there will be preparation for election, for local government election, for this to be actualized. That is how I think.
Okay. Now, it is important to note that for whoever's listening, my guest is the chairman of the ADP in River State Action Democratic Party. So let's talk about your party. How does your party interpret this reconciliation politically? And do you think it strengthens or threatens democracy? Now, you speaking as an opposition.
The question my party is asking, and the question they want everybody to answer is River State safe in the hands of Wike's son? That is the question. River State safe in the hands of Wike's son. The reason why we fought tooth and nail during the election is because same thing we perceived. The same thing we perceived, that's what we perceived that time. That Wike wanted to put a stood to take over the government. We stood, and even though we lost the election like every other person did, we know why. But Fubara came and he changed the narrative. He governed. Fubara governed for once. We had someone who did not politic. We had someone who governed. And that's why you see everybody applauded him, both the opposition parties, not because he was a fantastic man, not because he was serving us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No, because he governed. And that brings us to know that what we are most concerned about, like you said, is the governance of River State in a better way, as it should be, as we've never had. So we are worried again. For a long time, we've not been worried. Now we are worried again because Wike is coming back. We are worried again because Fubara promised River people that he will not give his kidney. He's apparently about to give his kidney. That's what we're concerned about. The question is, our state safe in the hands of Wike's son? And I will ask again, literally again, if the 8 years of the FCT minister was that fantastic, then who are we to say no?
Okay, so finally, now that the people know their fate as regards the reconciliation and, of course, the cost of it, if we are to agree by what you have said, so what words do we leave the people with?
One of your guests said it rightly. We should not allow this happen to us again in 2027. Because as it stands now, the only fate in our hands is the next election. For all the protests on the streets, all the airtime we've done, making conversations, making remarks online, on radio, on TV station, it changed nothing. The suspension was still on. It's still on as we speak. That means we could not control it. But the only thing we can control is who goes into the breakhouse again in 2027. Okay. And I will urge you people to please think it through and do the needful.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kendrick, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
All right. That was Mr. Christian Kendrick, the chairman of the ADP. That is a political party right here in River State. What are your thoughts on his position as to the cost to Rivers people? What this reconciliation cost? Or like Nollywood would like to put it, the price of sacrifice. 0817923 0002 0817923 0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. As always, the instructions are simple. Please turn off your radio as you call. Braid calls from OGRA. Good evening, Braid.
Sam, good afternoon.
Good evening.
My name is Chief Comrade. I am great.
Okay.
Yeah, from the discussion from the analyst, what I want to say is that there is no price that is too big to ensure that there is peace and stability in Rivers State. And I know that the suspended governor, in his own time, he says that he cannot pay his liver, his kidney. So I want to also appeal to him that he should be able to see how he can have a synergy with the governor, the former governor of Rivers State, now FCT minister, and ensure that whatever disagreement they are having is a bygone matter, and ensure that when it comes back, they carry all as sundry along, not just the political gladiators, Rivers people along, not minding whatever political party. We should be able to bring all the political parties together and have an open door policy, and such that things will begin to move simultaneously, like the sole administrator right now in Asari is doing. They are being Captain Charles, Barrister Charles. It's open door. You can reach him, discuss with him, and if you see any meaningful thing, he implement. And if the governor will come in, have a leadership like that, I think Rivers State will also move forward. Rivers State is so backward. As I speak with you, Rivers State is backward. We are far beyond. Former in time past, during the 90s, we are competing with Lagos State. But today, we no longer have a seaport anymore. Our roads are bad. Even the fishing trawler that were bought by ordinary administration, where are they? Where are the gunboats in Rivers State? No money can find. And our seaports are not working. A lot of things have gone back. Go to Transformer, the things are not working. All our industry has gone. So if we can come in and ensure that the population will bring back those peace, that love that has been established in Rivers State prior this time, there is nothing for me.
All right, Braid.
It will be bad.
Thank you very much. God's Time calls from Onelga. Hello, God's Time.
Yeah, good evening, sir. More opportunity.
Good evening.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything too much to pay for the price of peace in River State. You know, if I can deduce from the analogy of Labette, he said, Governor Wike-Fubara before I said he's not going to give us his kidney or govern on me. I think there's always a time to make sacrifices. And this is the time for the sacrifice. And I want to commend Governor Wike-Fubara, for having that courage to go back to his political godfather. We shouldn't eradicate godfatherism. It might not really be coming good in some situations, but we have mentors and mentees. And that is exactly what is applied in politics. It's all about mentor and mentee. But the question is, how is it being applied on the principle of governance? But still, I want to emphasize that there is no price big enough to pay for peace to return to River State. And I commend Governor Wike-Fubara. And I also want to eulogize the FCT minister for accepting his son and let us throw the part of peace in River State. So
okay.
That people, there will be progress.
Thank you very much. Gospar calls from Rumudara. Hello, Gospar.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Ayeba Gospar.
Go ahead.
Sam, I want your Destiny Studio to understand that we are operating a democratic system of government. And in this system of government, there must be political parties that have the ideologies and system that run these parties. And in the political party, there must be a disagreement and agreement. There must be realignment and reconciliation. For him to say that Rivers people will bear the brunt about the reconciliation between the FCT minister and Wike-Fubara is very sad. Because as a chairman of ADP, he was in this state. And I want to ask him a question, Sam. What decision did Sim take that qualifies him to be that he was in charge of that government? Apart from the 100,000 he gave to civil servants, what decision can he say that Sim took that qualifies him to be a man that was in charge of that government? It's very annoying to hear people say that reconciliation in the political party is now bad. It's not something that will affect a people. That is to tell you that these are the people that we are enjoying. These are the people that we are enjoying the crisis. And these are the people that the FCT minister was referring to, reaping from where they did not sow. A system brought somebody on board. There was disagreement. Now, they want to come in terms. Is it saying that the agreement between these two will not bring about stability in this state?
All right, Gaspar, I think your point has been made. Mufasa calls from NTA Road. Good evening, Mufasa.
Yeah, hi, Sam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. See, Sam, I want to state categorically that for me, it doesn't matter what the governor wants, to the deputy minister before he was elected by Rivers people. Whether it was his godson, whether it was his grandson, or whatever he is, my brother, Rivers people voted for a man, and as it stands now, the governor is the leader of Rivers State. And for that singular reason, so much is expected of him. You see, Sam, we trivialize governance in this part of the world. That is why we are where we are today as a people. I have said before, and I will say it again. The governor has never for any time insulted, abused, or denigrated the FCT minister. In fact, he has always said that this man is my Oga. But then again, let us also understand that the governor is governor to both his Oga and whoever resides in Rivers State and the Rivers indigenous. And it deserves to be respected. It deserves to be allowed to rule Rivers State in peace. The former governor had 8 smooth years of uninterrupted governance. Okay, assuming, or let us say, this man is your godson, wouldn't be a good thing for your godson to succeed and perform better than you? Is that not the pride of every father? So for me, you see, that was why when the governor said that there's nothing to go back to, initially I wanted to force him when he said his spirit soul has left that place. But when you look at that word critically and deeply, you understand that there is nothing to fall back to. They have destroyed governance. They have reduced the office of governor in Rivers State to the extent that if he goes back to that place, how many years does he have to deliver the dividend of democracy to Rivers people? That is what the people want from him. Whether it's godson or grandson, it doesn't matter to Rivers people. What they want is quality leadership. So for me, like your guest has rightly said, I don't know, perhaps Rivers people will be the one to